in the park here looking at this full moon, and some inspiration came to me. I was kind of given a prompt as why I don't know why I got into creating video, producing video. I mean, sharing a lot of the story already goes back to 2010 when I first got into the sports web world. Didn't know really what I was getting into, but I quickly learned. And I was like, oh yeah, I know that these watched this network all the time in the past, and it was there in Woodlands, Texas, where I got started in the digital side. It had been a long time legacy media, legacy TV, and like I said, I watched it all. But it got me started when I connected with, just out of college, connected with another student who was working there too, and put my name in the hat for a role there. Started as an intern in 2010. Later would be brought on as part of the crew, part of the staff in the office. And all that's been there ever since with the same network. To now, this day, today. Maybe one region. I was with all the regions before, supporting all the regions, and then went to one region, and I've been with the same network since that 2010. And that's really when I really got started being interested in creating video. When it became that's really when it became college. My last year of college, I kind of got the passion for video editing, and then before then I was all about producing the live shot, producing the live production in the studio, and do little editing as possible. That I was always training. It's always good to go into the studio with the mindset of little post as possible, because little post production can be tedious, can be, you have to bring everything in and chop everything up, cut everything up. But I really fell in love with the process in my last year of college. And TV studio, I've told this story too, I became the go-to. I was always in the studio learning about something. Like all the stuff that's in the studio, whether it's on the camera floor, upstairs in the control room, I was always learning something in the studio. And people just started coming up to me because they quickly realized that, hey, he learned it. He's a good person to ask. He knows it. And then came that 2010. After that, I got, when we started doing all the manual live stream processes and started really learning about that from scratch, when it wasn't really popular. Live streaming wasn't a thing like it is now, and all this on demand and everything's about streaming, going live on streaming. We didn't have that then. I think you could do it on YouTube in very bare bones form, but we didn't really have, what we have today, live streaming. I mean, there was this simple, I think I did a podcast episode once, a couple times, talking with people recording on Google Voice, which is that they did away with, they discontinued that. And I record on there. Now it's Zoom, it's StreamYard for live streaming, it's like all these newer things that just came out, and what 2020 and the pandemic and being behind the screens just really fast tracked. And I got my start in it really before 2010, but 2010 was when I went pro. Well, 2010 was when I went pro, right out of college. Before that, it was in college. I was learning content creation, broadcast production, and what else? What else am I missing? What else am I leaving out? I think I've told this bits and pieces of the story and other parts, and the blog writing. You should check that out. Follow, subscribe, get onto my email list, and I'll be sharing a lot of this stuff in email form. And I'll do video tips. I do video tips. I want to get into event production. I want to get into speaking. Find audiences that want to hear me and need to hear my message and speak. I want to consult and help other people optimize their video processes and help them optimize their streaming. And I want to just help and support, educate, and show people how it can be done in a timely, efficient manner. And that's my story on essentially getting started with video. There's a lot more to it, and that can be for another video for another day. But that's how as I'm sitting here out enjoying this full moon, one of the biggest, I think the biggest moon's appearance right there. As I'm enjoying this moon, I'm gonna end it here on this moonshot. Alright. And good night. It is nighttime, it's dark. I'm just looking at the moon. Good night.